Winston Churchill was one of the greatest men of the 20th century, and he was a skilled and accomplished leader of Great Britain. During World War II, his political policy, his military strategy, and his powerful speeches encouraged the British to defeat Hitler's troops in the Battle of Britain. Without Winston Churchill's strong leadership, the Allies would not have won the war. Churchill succeeded in changing the direction of the war, which led to a turning point for the survival of the free world. The ending of the war caused global changes in social, economic, and political structures, which still influence the way things are today. During World War II in 1940, Hitler had invaded and conquered the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. France had just recently fallen. In May 1940, Winston Churchill had just been elected Prime Minister of Great Britain, and German troops were getting ready to attack Britain. Churchill motivated and inspired his people to fight hard to protect Britain from being invaded. Great Britain won the Battle of Britain, and Hitler retreated, which was Germany's first loss. At the same time, Germany was also fighting Russia on the Eastern Front. By 1943 and through 1944, Germany and Italy were losing ground and slowly retreating, and Germany lost to Russia at Stalingrad. Churchill knew that strong alliances were necessary to win the war, and he had formed the Big Three with the U.S. and Russia to discuss strategy and the planned Hitler's defeat. Churchill was uniquely qualified to govern with confidence and some determination. He had 40 years in Parliament and military experience, both during and after World War I. His strong leadership and his determination and his ability to prepare his people helped Britain fight hard when it looked hopelessly like Germany would win. Churchill's forceful personality came through in his speeches. He was forceful and very driven. His words, "I like things to happen, and if they don't happen, I like to make them happen," demonstrate his mindset to take action and get things done. He told the people the truth when they were facing defeat, and he used insightful words to build morale and to unite the British Empire to keep fighting. He would frequently say, "Never, never, never give up" in his speeches, "Never surrender" in his Never Surrender speech. In June 1940, Churchill talked about the successful evacuation of Dunkirk, and he declared, "We shall defend our island, whatever the cost. We shall never surrender. Let us therefore brace ourselves to our duties, and so bear ourselves that if the British Empire or its Commonwealth lasts for 1,000 years, men will still say this was their finest hour." His military decisions were brilliant regarding war and taking the right approach. Churchill took planning and action seriously. In a letter to General Dale, Winston stressed the need for action, especially during wartime, stating, "I never worry about action, but only about inaction." He was very enthusiastic about dirty war strategies such as using code breaking, passing false information to the Axis, and using ghost armies and inflatable tanks at Calais to trick Hitler concerning the Normandy invasion. Churchill's other military tactics included sabotage warfare, sticky bombs, and booby traps. Churchill thrived on conflict, and he believes that it change is an opportunity to improve with a situation. He stated, "To improve is to change, so to be perfect is to change often." His ability to analyze problems and predict outcomes helped him in his collaboration with Roosevelt and Stalin as he prepared for the battle to force Hitler to surrender. Winston Churchill was a great world leader during World War II who helped the British stay strong in their fight against Hitler. On VE Day, he shared the victory with the British people, declaring, "My dear friends, this is your hour, and this is not victory of a party or of any class. It's a victory of the great British nation as a whole. He reminded them, the lights went out and the bombs came down, but every man, woman, and child in the country had no thought of quitting the struggle. London can take it. He is a powerful force, and as he gave his speeches to boost morale, he made strong relationships and formed an alliance to work with the U.S. and Russia to create the Big Three. Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin discussed the strategies to defeat the Axis powers in 1945 and to liberate the countries that Germany had invaded. Churchill was motivating speeches. His ability to lead in his country and globally caused a turning point in World War II that ended with the Allied. The consequences of a world war caused political and social and economic changes around the world. After the war, there was a growing divide between East and West, and the Iron Curtain went up in communist countries. Borders were redrawn in the defeated countries, and their post-war economies were devastated. War weapons production boosted the economy in the West. Socially, millions of lives were lost, and fatherless families meant that women had more responsibility. Women and minorities also had more job opportunities, and there were more working mothers. The amount of immigrants increased because of the displaced people, and this caused more cultural diversity. Politically, there was a new world order as the United Nations was formed to keep fighting international peace. Without Churchill's leadership during World War II, Britain would have lost to Hitler, and the Allies would not have won. The world would not exist in the same way today and have all of the freedoms Americans enjoy.